The Blood Center of Wisconsin phone bank open, 608-784-KIDS, 784-5437 if you'd like to give us a buzz. We've been doing a great job. The Coulee Region Chill working the phone bank this hour. We appreciate them being here, but we really need your call, 608-784-KIDS, 784-5437. And now once again to our dynamic family interview area we go with Joni Smith.
Well, thank you guys so much here with the Plowman family. Robin is here, Paul is here, Jesse is here, and Tommy is here somewhere. He's over there. Hello, family. It's good to see you again.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Yeah. You know what? It just wouldn't be a Radiothon without your family here this morning. And I mean that. And you have a lot of fans. In fact, the phones are already ringing at 608-784-KIDS, 5437.
Thank you.
Well, knowing Jesse, which we've known Jesse, how many years have we been involved here together?
Since he was probably the first Radiothon I did, he was still an infant.
Okay.
So, and he will be 15 tomorrow.
Jesse's birthday is tomorrow, you guys.
Woo-hoo. Happy birthday.
15 years old.
15.
You have another teenager in the house.
He is acting like a teenager very much. I have, for those that know us or follow us on Facebook, I have posted pictures of him, instead of getting in his car seat, has gotten in the driver's seat.
Uh-oh.
And just looked at us like, what? I'm not getting out. And he thinks it's funny. Yep.
You know, we have a very vivacious group here on our phone bank on the University Blood Center of Wisconsin. Hello, Coulee Region Chill hockey players.
Woohoo!
And I'd like to thank one of your moms called in. I heard that going on. So that's great. Make those phone calls. Get the moms and dads, neighbors and uncles. Get your fans calling in at 608-784-KIDS, 5437. Robin, Jesse looks good.
Jesse is doing phenomenal. Every single day there are positive changes for him. And it just, I think it kind of blows everybody away and us. And
tell us how things started with Jesse. How did Jesse come into your life?
Jesse was born a perfectly healthy baby. And at 3 months of age, his biological father shook him and caused global brain damage. They did not know what all of that would entail initially, because with that type of injury, sometimes you can see things on the outside, but a lot of it, the injury was inside, and we had to wait. And so as the brain developed, that's when we actually started to see that he couldn't roll over, he couldn't sit up. He had sensory issues that sometimes touch was a big issue, seizures. And we got a call, actually, at the time we were doing foster care, and we were chosen to, if we would, accept him as a foster child. And so at 3.5 months of age is when we first met Jesse. Actually came down here to Gunderson and picked him up.
What was your home dynamic at the time? What family members did you have at that time?
Our oldest, James, David, Jonathan, Rachel, biological children. And then we had adopted Jacob and Andrew. And then other foster children in and out during that time were with us.
So here you are. You're at Gunderson, and you're meeting Jesse for the first time. Paul, can you jump in? You were there on that trip. Can you think back?
Actually, I wasn't. She took our son, Jonathan, with her.
Oh.
Right?
John went with, and to this day, he will always hold the Medal of Honor that he got to carry Jesse out of the hospital.
I had to stay home and hold the fort down and get ready for our new addition. We didn't know that what the future would be. We were being our foster parents. And because we'd had experience with shaken baby before, that was one of the reasons they called us, and we said we'll do our best. And well, he stayed. That's the short story. Is he stayed, and we had him for a long time as a foster child until finally through court action we were able to get full custody of him, and then we adopted him. And
yes,
and we named him Jesse Little Bear Plowman.
Jesse Little Bear.
Little
Yes.
Bear, yes.
And how did that come about?
Well, he's Native American, and I wanted to keep that in his life. You know, I honor that, and I thought it would be wonderful to have that. Plus, when he crawled as a child, he never put his knees down. He would just crawl on his back feet and his hands, and he kind of looked like the Little Bear of the Little Bear books, and so we called him Little Bear. You know, and that was kind of how it stuck.
And that just stuck, yeah.
That's right.
Challenges all along the way.
All the time.
Every step
All
of
the
the way. The seizures, at one point he would have clusters of 50 at a time.
50 seizures at a time.
And this would happen throughout the day, every day. And he was 6 months old. And a tiny little body can only handle so much medication. So even though they were trying multiple seizure meds at one time, they were not holding them back. And all we could do was just hold him while he was thrashing. And a lot of times we were crying because it's a very difficult to see someone go through that anyway, and then so much of that.
Had you seen a seizure before
We
in
had
a
seen
child?
seizures before, so that was something that I guess we were aware of and okay with that coming in. We had never seen this many in this small of a child. And there were like 7 different types, so it was an ongoing thing. And then it was, people like to thank us for what we've done, but we have always said it's a community. It's everybody has helped Jesse get to where he is, and of course, first of all, God. We thank God that He chose us to be Jesse's forever family, and it's been an amazing, very difficult at times, to watch a child struggle that was born perfectly healthy, that this wasn't a disease that he has, but it was at the hands of someone that he was injured. And we found out...
Do you carry bitter feelings inside? Do you try to let that go? How do you do that?
No, I think our attention is all on Jesse. Of course, we have a big passion against Shaken Baby. I have taken him to multiple high schools as an infant, and not so much as he's this big, but I would go into the parenting classes with him, the home ec classes, the living classes. There's some high schools that even have classes for pregnant moms. And I would tell his story, and many times I would take all of the equipment because he would be on multiple equipment at different times, breathing. And Jesse's going to help me. This is sick. I need a little
Here we go. Mom just had surgery on one of her wrists, and she can only hold the mic with. There you go.
I'm better.
There you go.
So, lost my train of thought.
Well,
here.
your story,
multiple.
as we're talking, your story is touching hearts. We just had a $200 donation called in.
Praise God. Praise God. Thank you. Thank you.
And what you're doing is, I know that you have been recipients from Children's
Yes.
Miracle Network. I understand that, and I know that. But for you guys, every year you come back here, and starting out with Jesse's story just tears your heart out. It just does.
Yeah.
But you have the strength as a family unit to come back and continue to do that. And
We have been
just
so blessed by Children's Miracle Network and all they have done for him. It's been life-changing things for him.
tell us about some of the life-changing things.
One of the first things, now you won't know it looking at Jesse, but he is legally blind. He has no depth or peripheral from the injury. And I believe in 2010, he had gone into cardiac arrest, or is that what you would call it? I guess he coded. He had a lung infection that when we got to the hospital in Milwaukee, they found it. But upon arrival, he coded, and they brought him back. And 3 more times this happened. Long story short, he was put on life support for 12 days, and coming off, he lost the ability to do everything. He had been the week before this illness, riding a tricycle. He had, grown and thrived in so many ways, walking, climbing, and that sickness took him back to the beginning, and they literally did not know if he could ever reach those goals again. And again, God has intervened at every step of the way for him, because the fact that he is living, breathing alone is such a miracle. And here he is.
When we first met your family, and it's been, like we said, a few years ago, more than a few years ago, Jesse was not walking.
No.
He walked in here today.
Oh, yes.
And what did...
He runs.
Well,
he climbs.
And the doctors told you
yes.
originally, because, they're just looking at the
and
medical facts.
Yes, and he couldn't.
And
do
he
those
couldn't.
things.
What has changed?
Well, a lot started back in the first time around. It was the therapies and the individuals working with him, and then after he lost it, all those abilities again. To be honest, they sent him home to pass away. They did not feel there was any hope at all, and that's where one of the items came in, which was a iPad, because Jesse he would lay around, he couldn't do anything, and to interact with the colors and the sounds on the iPad and just so many things, that was a huge gift from Children's Miracle Network. That is, to this day, helps him learn. When he was in that first stage as a young child learning to climb or walk, Children's Miracle Network purchased a jungle gym for him, and it was an indoor one that was made out of thick mat material. So it was cushioned. Everything was soft, and it had the slide and tunnel and stairs, but it was so, as he's learning, he couldn't hurt himself. It wasn't hard plastic or something like that. And that was such a foundational piece of equipment for him. And he rides horse with horse sense now, and he thinks he's a little chief. He does not ever hold on. And he's even done trick riding where he lays back on the horse and laughs at them. They have to take him off when he won't stop doing that. But his comprehension is different. Like you said, we would bring him in the wheelchair, and God allowed him to learn again. And so he's a fighter. Jesse's always been a fighter.
I think today when he walked in with you all, I think he thought maybe he was here for an appointment or something.
Yes.
But then I think when he saw us, and when, there was the glow of the lights and some, movement of a few of the balloons, I think he realized that, okay, this is going to be a good thing.
Yes. And his orientation, his mental clarity has changed phenomenal just in the last 2 years, and that is another thing we are seeing daily.
He's eating now? On his own?
We have to prepare the food.
Right.
He comes every week for therapy here, for food therapy. His therapist, Kate, is phenomenal. And a year ago, I just looked at pictures a year ago where we were just trying to get him to even maybe take a sip of something. She worked it out, and he did. And now, a year later, not only is he accepting a variety of foods, because he couldn't eat anything other than potato chips. Now we've got video of him actually starting to feed himself with that.
That's a celebration right there.
That is. That's phenomenal.
That is a celebration. 608-784-KIDS, 5437. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital's Radiothon, in case you're just tuning in. We're with the Plowman family, and Jesse is here. Robin and Paul, Mom and Dad, are here today, and Tommy is over there somewhere. And you know what's happening? Hey there. You know what's happening? People are calling in. We have 4 calls. We have 4 calls already. I think we should shoot for 10.
Let's shoot for 10.
Should we do that? Let's shoot for 10.
Wish Jesse a happy birthday with that call.
Yep. Wish Jesse a happy birthday tomorrow. Jesse is going to be 15 years old.
It doesn't seem that he has blessed our life for 15 years already. It's just amazing. But
tell me about school for Jesse.
Little Prince, obviously, wherever he goes. But he goes to school full time and has what I like about our school district, and maybe others do this now too, but they integrate, can't think of the name. They will put him in regular.
They put them together.
Regular classrooms for several things, and then they also will bring children into his classroom. He sings in the choir, so when his class has a concert, he's up there.
He enjoys music, doesn't he?
Yes. Can you bring that up by chance? He has a very, very favorite song.
Oh, we'd like to hear it if you can get it, Paul.
Yes.
Okay, so, it's these extracurricular activities that a few years ago, they weren't on your radar.
There's a lot that wasn't, yeah. Music therapy, music and harmony is another one we didn't know was there. But because of his love for music and lights, they are doing that to help with his speech. This is his favorite song.
Here. Oh, that is his favorite song. Can you put it by the mic so maybe we can hear it a little bit? John, are we picking that up at all? We're trying to hear.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough.
So I can see that Jesse is clearly moved by this song. Can you tell us what's the name of the song?
It's You Say by Lauren Daigle. One time when I was watching Jesse react to this song, I videoed it, and then I got the lyrics out and just read them, and I started to cry. And I hope people take the time to look up the words to this song, because
Can you share a few lyrics? Can you bring them up? Can you think of what they are that really touched your?
It's let me listen and I'll tell you.
It's a beautiful song.
You say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong. I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe. And seriously,
the song was written about your family. It was written about Jesse.
He connected all on his own to this, and it is, you can start it anywhere. And I just hope people would, most people know this song, but maybe listen to the words a little closer, because I look at this precious child that was born normal, that should be having the time of his life. And although he is always happy, there is a definite tug on our family's heart, all of his siblings, grandmas, grandpas, anybody too that knows him, his school. He's got friends all over, and they have watched his growth. They have watched the changes. They were there with us when I would post from the hospital that we don't know if he's going to make it. And this also gets played on the iPad for him, so that's another great thing. And others have actually started to use it to encourage him. And but you can see even the change in him.
We can see it and we can hear it. It's 608-784-KIDS, 5437. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon. We have the calls coming in. We have the gentleman over there from the Coulee Region Chill hockey team. They are seriously being moved by your story as well. The strength that you have from within to be able to share with us is unbelievable. What is it? Is it experience? Is it time? What helps you?
God, first of all. I mean, Paul's a pastor. Our family is centered around God to begin with. But we also know not to take life for granted. This I wanted to share in Jesse's awareness that started a couple years ago. Jesse would never cry. And we didn't know, was it medication? What was it? And I shared, I think, with you last year after we started him on the different nutrition, the whole foods. Instantly a change in him. And that has grown so phenomenal. And one of the biggest things that we saw within the first few weeks of that, we had gone to the cemetery for our son. And Jesse had gone before with us. But this particular time when we got home and we were waiting for pizza to celebrate Andy, Jesse came and stood by me, and his bottom lip just started to quiver. And he doesn't cry. And I said, I immediately knew. And I said, Jesse, you miss Andy too, don't you? And he started to cry, and he climbed up on my lap, and he just hugged my neck. And that was such a turning point. And he knew before, but he couldn't present it. And so that's another healing of the brain that God has brought him. And he has rule right now over the entire first floor of the house, where before we had to keep him, in a safe little area. And now he can go from his bedroom to the living room to the kitchen. But he understands. We can be talking to him and he understands. He knows when it's church and he gets excited. He knows if we're coming to see Kate down here or going to ride the horse. Conversations, even if he's not talking, he understands and is picking up. And it's night and day.
You use the term turning point, and I feel like this year has been a turning point. And the last couple years.
The last couple, yes.
Well, we've been having conversation. We have more calls that have come in. 608-784-KIDS, 5437. It's the Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin. Phone bank. The Cooley Region Chill hockey team, they're spending part of their day. They
That's
wanted to be
awesome.
here for you guys.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
They want to be here for you guys.
Thank you.
Just like we're here to cheer them on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works out so great. What's next? What do you think's next for Jesse?
Potty training.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think that he is getting to an awareness that will be definitely a wonderful thing to accomplish in his life. The food thing and eating at school now, they don't have to give him the formula through the G tube. We still nourish him that way as well, but the school is so excited to actually sit down with lunch with him and feed him. And now, like I said, there's videos out there for us. You can see him feeding himself. That was something we did not ever know. But again, as we say every year, our ultimate goal, our ultimate belief, I should say, it's a goal and a belief. We are trusting God to bring Jesse to a complete healing. That is what we are trusting God for. And why not? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, not yet seen. And for a little boy who should have died when he was shaken, should have died, I lost track of time, the count of how many times. And he's been here with us, and he has always gone farther and farther toward that healing. And believe with us. Keep him in your prayers. And also, again, I just want to put this out there for you watching. Children's Miracle Network is, in my mind, one of the best
safety blankets, resource.
Safety blankets, resources. I'm thinking fundraiser, but they're not a fundraiser. This is. But CMN, Children's Miracle Network, what you do for children and families, it cannot be met by anything else. Every single penny goes to these families and children. And I know that for us, Jesse's car seat that was purchased as he got a little older, it looks just like a 5-point car seat that you would buy in a store, but it's a little bigger for him. Do you want to guess how much they take advantage of that? It's over $2,000.
It's amazing.
And that's not even with
incredible.
The specialty ones. Right. This is just a large enough one to keep him safe. Yeah. And we could not afford that. And your donations allowed Children's Miracle Network to get that for Jesse. So we just say thank you. You want to?
Somebody who was actually in Jesse's life from the very, very beginning, Dr. Ralph Knutson, was in the ER the day that Jesse was brought in injured from the shaking, and he was the first to diagnose him as shaken baby injuries. This summer, Jesse and I spent some time at Winnebago Park together, and he loves it there. And I posted some pictures. And Dr. Knutson commented on the post. And he said, what a delight to see Jesse and you together, and Jesse with a beautiful smile as well. Love wins.
There we go. And with that, thank you for coming in again. One more thing.
Children's Miracle Network, people, love wins.
There you go.
Through this program right here. If you could do anything for them, help out.
The number is 608-784-KIDS 5437. Love you guys. Please come back.
Always.
Please come back and let us know how Jesse's doing. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Media Group.